Hey, what's up traders? The FX Hunter here and welcome to the analysis for the GBPUSD. So we will look to the all time frames, to the COT and how to find the entry and how to execute it. So let's start on the monthly time frame, which is here in the left upper corner. So let me zoom in a little bit and let's go deeply to check what's going on. So on the bigger time frame, on the bigger picture, we can see that on the monthly we had this reaction on the bottom of these channels, and then here is basically a reaction on this beautiful supply zone in here, right? Why is that supply zone? Because here was all this power accumulated for this down move, right? So that's why we could expect some reaction in here, which we are actually getting in here, and the price started to drop here for the past previous month. So right now let's go to the weekly, and on the weekly we can see here is that supply zone, the same one as we saw now on this monthly, but here is this weekly exact entry, right? So from this zone we could see the reaction. We can see how the price two times touched this zone, accumulated the power, and now price is dropping, and now we already getting where could possibly this price could go into the opposing demand zone, right? So we are expecting the price to drop lower to the 133 zone. So that's where we are looking for to price to go, because on this weekly time frame as well we can see the broken uptrend and price is basically dropping down here. So we are looking for the price to drop, but we will need to seek the confirmations on the COT data, right? So let me bring the daily time frame. Daily time frame, yes, we have of course same reaction here on the top. It's the daily zone, same one, which is the nested in that weekly zones, and since then the market structure seems very bearish, right? So we have the new zones created in here. Why new zone? Because in here was the accumulation for the power to create this breakdown, right? So we have this breakdown, then the price has moved back up in here, reaction in this zone, and now we are dropping lower, and as such we expecting the price to drop down to this weekly zone, which is somewhere around 133. So we are looking to trade lower. So here we have the latest supply zone on the daily, and from here we could potentially take the short, but a couple things has to happen first. So let's bring the COT data first before we go to the 4 hours time frame, and we will start to look for some entry, right? So if we look to the COT data, we can see basically that the banks, let me change the color, that the banks basically has been adding some longs recently. We can see that they've been adding some longs, right? So it looks quite bullish now, but be careful reading this, because we must look where they did it and what happened next days, because here's a trick. Basically the trading is of course about making the money, right? And the banks, that doesn't want you to know what they're doing, so they're trying to hide their intention, right? So right now we will try to understand what they've been doing recently. So here is actually the data for the past week. So that means that what they reported in here, the data which we get in here, this change, this total change, is 94 to the positive. It's for this period, right? So we can see basically, so what they did in here, they added some longs, which is confusing because it makes you think that it's bullish, right? So we can see that the longs has grown from the 51 to the 57, right? In here they added some longs positions, but as well they bring the shorts. So if we look to the total change, it's only the 94 to the positive, right? So it was happening in this period, right? As I said, from the past report until then. They reported it here on the stop, and what happened immediately the next day? Look what happened. The price dropped, and it was quite a big move, right? I mean, it dropped down around it's something like 200 pips. So what happened in there? They basically, I'm sure, and we will see that in the next report, that they closed these positions, right? And let's look what was actually happening here, because we can see easily on the positions and on the market structure what was happening. So let's look at this. So we can see for the previous 3 weeks, the banks has been adding the positions. We can see they adding some longs, they adding some shorts. That could be a little bit confusing. That's why I have this change here, right? So we can see that the previous week before this one, those 3 weeks, I said not counting this one, they've been positive. Okay, so here they reported the change 13k. Then the previous week they reported another 13k change, and then another 8k. But here they actually dropped minus 21k, right? So what's actually happening in here? If they are bullish, and we can see that here is some bullish changes. Let me change the color in here. It's here. So they've been bullish in here. Why? Because they've been doing this pullback and they've been accumulating more shorts positions, right? So let's look what was happening in the period before. So in the period before, we can see that basically they had big shorts positions, and longs was like quite not much happening, right? But we can see they've been bringing the shorts in the previous 3 weeks from 52 to the 68. You can see it on the changes, minus 5 plus 2 minus 21, so it's around minus 26, and it was this 3 weeks. So look at it. So it's this 3 weeks. So it's let me clear this. So it was 1 week, 2 week, and the 3 weeks. So already in here, right? And then they've been slightly positive again. So yeah, so what we can see and we can read in here is basically that they are bearish, then they are bullish on the pullback, bringing the price back to the supply zone, and from here they're trying to hide it. You can see how they did it last week, right? So right now the most of the traders will be thinking it's bullish, but it's not. We can see the Tuesday when they reported the positions, then the next day they closed it. So currently this sell-off is not in the report. It will be there next week, but it will be late information. So that's why we must read between the lines, right? So what we are looking for now is that they probably will bring the price back to the level where this drop happened. Why? Because it probably happened. They probably did not have enough short positions. They started to short probably somewhere here, but I think as they close these longs here, they will want to bring more, right? So what we are looking for now is the price to bring back to this supply zone, or the institutional level, if you will, in here, and trade the short here. But I will of course not just put the sell limit here and wait until this happens. It of course can work, but now we will look to the technique how I will trade this, right? So we are getting some structure in here. We are getting some structure. So what is here the structure? So we have some high, some then it's creating some low here. Then we getting some higher high again. Probably price will be I don't know what will be the structure, right? Somehow it will come into our supply zone, and in here what we want to see here, we want to see first the break of the previous structure. So what we want to see is the break of the previous low, right? And then we want to see some retracement, and then we will be looking for the short. Why I'm applying this technique? Because the thing is that what can actually happen right now is that the price will be simply coming up. You know, it will retrace, it will go higher, it will retrace, it will go again higher, you know, and it can go actually into this zone, because I don't know if we will take a short here or here, right? I'm looking for the as much possible confluences that this is actually happening, right? Here as well will be some trend line, of course. So I want to see the trend line break, this low break, and then, you know, pull back, and then the short, right? So yeah, of course I could have a much perfect position in here, but I don't know if it will happen like this. You know, the price can come all the way up here, and then it doesn't matter if it will break or not, because we never know if is it exactly on the pip here, or even if they will react you know, somewhere on this bottom on this low here, right? So somewhere in this zone I will be looking. Simply let me clear it. Somewhere in this zone I will be basically looking for the market structure to break previous low with some proper candle. The good one will be looking something like this, some nice engulfing candle, then pull back, and then I will be shorting. All right, my friends, so this is it. I hope you have learned something. Please subscribe or follow me on the TradingView. I'm sharing a lot of nice analysis and with the descriptions, so it's good for you to learn. And as well, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because here you have a lot of videos with the analysis. And every week I basically on the Saturdays I'm streaming the forex forecast, so you can learn a lot of in there as well, and join my Telegram as well. That's it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.